This is a big one. The best match of the day, seen by many, as you have got two top 5 teams competing. Team Liquid versus Natus Vincere. This is a best of 3 for a spot in the next stage of competition. Astrala's just done it. Who will meet them? We'll find out, and who will join them, I should say. Can't guarantee the meet, but on the other side of things, on the B stream, worth reminding you that NRG versus Complexity is going down right now, and one of them is going home. Domestic rivals, anything can happen. NRG are up against the ropes. That's happening, of course, on the B stream. Just add a B to that URL, and you're good to go. I'm joined by Jacob Pimp-Vinegar and Sean Gers on the end there. Fresh off a cast where you just witnessed the most ridiculous Mirage. I
could not believe that Renegades was able to bring that back.
So much fun.
That was such an insane game of CS.
It really was. And of course, now I'm hoping for the same. Team Liquid, though. Jacob, let's start, of course, ex-Team Liquid player. Great to have you with your Team Liquid jersey. Of course, now joining us on the desk. But so far, win versus NIP, win versus Vanguard. That's all we've seen from Liquid so far.
Yeah. It hasn't been as convincing as I would have hoped for on behalf of Liquid. I think they were struggling a little bit against Vanguard. That said, though, a team that is definitely playing better than the ranking we're suggesting them to be. As for NIP, also stepping up big time. I feel I was casting in the game as well. I feel that Liquid could have lost that game, honestly speaking. I think NIP were putting on a lot of pressure towards Liquid. That was going back and forth. So, yes, they've gotten the win so far, the 2-0, and they're definitely in the driver's seat coming into this one against NaVi, but it hasn't been as convincing as I would have hoped for.
Real talk, Sean.
Yes.
Are Liquid the kind of team that would be playing a map that they don't necessarily consider strong for them in this stage of competition to hide what they've been developing at their time off?
I do think teams need to ban certain maps against Liquid because of their history, right? They're so good on Cache, they're so good on Dust too, so we don't see them play best of ones on that map because of the fear factor from the other teams. So coming into best of 3 territory, they're likely going to get a map they're very good on.
Yeah, so far just 2 overpasses, of course, just to explain the catalyst to that question. They played it twice, and now finally a best of 3 to secure a spot in the Champions stage. What about, what's your read on the NaVi boys, though? I think, Jacob, if we rewound to your initial testament surrounding NaVi, you had eaten the Zeus story, whether or not it was all false or if there is elements of truth within it, we don't know, but the performance doesn't necessarily look like a dying team.
No, not at all. I mean, whatever happened behind the scene is what happens. We don't really know whether they're playing poker or not, but that's, as you said, the stuff they're showing on the server right now is okay. I think they were lucky yesterday against Vitality. I think they should have lost that game, to be completely honest with you. I think Vitality was triple OT. Vitality was showing some great progress. Also a great team so far this tournament. NaVi got a little bit lucky, but once again, Simple showed up and just took over that game. And I mean, I'm getting a little bit tired of saying it because he does that all the time, and it's almost becoming a normality, right? But Simple is just the fear factor. Simple is the driving force behind this NaVi lineup.
Okay, don't normally do this, but I think it's important in this one. Who is the favorite in this game? Sean. Think out loud for me.
A very good question. We don't really know much about Liquid, right? Other than the fact that they managed to finally beat Astralis at the Abe Power Masters tournament. But what can we really take away from that event? We're not sure. NaVi, is the whole Zeus debacle actually real? I don't know. I mean, they look like they have the same formula, right? Simple showing up, Electronic showing up, Flamey's their 3rd fragger.
Vito showing up.
And yeah, our Vito's right there. So
okay.
We have Mirage, Dust 2, and Nuke.
That's interesting because we haven't seen this new iteration of Liquid played Nuke yet. That would be the first time if it goes to a 3rd map, whereas for Mirage they played twice, they lost 1-1, and for Dust 2 I believe they won 3 matches out of 3, so they're pretty good with these maps already.
And a common misconception about Liquid actually is that they have a poor Nuke, right? That's not true. They're actually one of the best teams in the world on Nuke. They just happen to always play Astralis on Nuke, which...
That's going to bring your win ratio down.
Yes, they get put into their place.
That makes sense. But you can see how things did play out. Of course, NaVi's still banning Cache. They haven't decided to change things up for the major for the first time in
it requires you practice, right, if you do that, Alex.
Yeah, okay. Well, so you are. He's fully eaten.
I mean, I'm not eating it yet. I just think there's something to be said about the only team not having a bootcamp up to this event. I know there was an interview with Simple stating that Electronic is about to become a dad, so that's the reason why, and that's totally fair, and I respect that, of course. That said, though, it is the biggest tournament in the world, so them coming in without having a bootcamp, it has to be a downside towards this NaVi lineup.
It certainly does. We're going to be getting into this one, though. The teams are taking to the stage. Of course, reminder, Liquid, NaVi in a best of 3. The arena has been great, and of course it's an upgrade once you get over to that SPO deck. I'm sure you'll see it on your screens any minute now because it's happening, and in fact I can even hear myself in the arena, so hi. Here comes the players. Why do I throw to that? Because I'm continuing to talk about that. That's right, Liquid are there. Tried my best, and you can see Nitro, big smiles on his face. It's really, really exciting to see what Liquid can do here, because this is their first true test. No disrespect to NIP. They, as Jacob said, a couple of rounds the other way, the Swedes would have taken them. They haven't looked polished necessarily.
It's quite funny. They played probably the youngest team in this stage of the major, and then they played probably the oldest team in this stage of the major, in Avantgarde and NIP. We don't really know what to expect from Liquid when we see them on Dust 2, Mirage, and Nuke, but we know they have the players that have been here for the past year, making finals, constantly, you know, going up against Astralis, and they've defeated NaVi in the past.
NaVi on your screens, the hard hitters, Electronic, Simple, alongside one another. It was actually the story of NAF and Stewie2K. Elige had his moments. Nitro with some insane rounds as well. I think he had an ace clutch at one point as well. On Eco, no less.
One thing that differs these two teams in between is the fact that they each have a different style of in-game leading. Whereas for Team Liquid, they have Nitro being the in-game leader, being the hybrid AVP player as well. And when you look towards NaVi, it's obviously Zeus, who's a well-known in-game leader and is sort of taking a little bit of a different control when it comes to controlling guys like Simple and Electronic. That said, though, when you look at the rating, right, and I was alluding to it before as well in the Glaive case, he has a lot of impact, he has a good rating as well. Zeus is currently sitting on our 0.79 rating for the past 3 months. That is very, very low, even for a Zeus type of player. Whereas the lowest rated player for Liquid right now is Stewie2K with a 1.05 rating. That is
1.5 lowest. I'd be like, Liquid win the major.
That would be pretty good. 1.05 that is. So if you have your lowest player and your worst performing player being Stewie2K and Team Liquid going up against a guy like Zeus, that's a big difference. So in terms of individual skill in these two teams, there's no doubt that Liquid have the upper hand when it comes to the strategy, when it comes to the experience as a team. Obviously, Liquid have only played 10 games together.
Stewie2K needs a haircut for sure. Jokes aside, though, of course, we are going to be getting into this one momentarily. Stewie2K, a conversation I think worth having, Sean. I don't know how much time we have, but Stewie joining that Liquid roster, does that feel like the right fit for Team Liquid?
You know, it does. They needed someone a little bit fiery. They needed someone that's outspoken, because obviously Taku probably was that role within the team. So that Stewie does fill that void quite well. I mean, they have so much skill on this lineup. I don't know if it would have been possible, you know, a year ago to piece together a roster that has this much skill on it in North America. And that's why Jacob was referring to that, right, with Zeus. NaVi is constructed in the old school way, right, where you get that tactical in-game leader. You have Edward as a support player, and then you have your 3-star players. Liquid, they're like some kind of weird Frankenstein with all incredible aimers.
Looks like we're getting into this one. We start on Mirage. Familiar territory for both. NaVi pushed to the limits on this map by Vitality, but still, one of the two will be locking themselves in. Let's go with your casters. Trace, Sponge, it's over to you.
That's right, Alex. I've traded in one American for an ally and an Australian. In fact, it's time to get into Mirage. We've seen it earlier, and we saw what can be done there between Astralis and the Renegades. But in this instance, we've got Liquid and NaVi on the cards, and it does look like a heavy B presence already here. NaVi trying to get them started, trying to get this one started off in the right way. And it's going to be Simple leading the charge there. Now Flamey out first. And no real damage done, no kills taken on either side, but with that kill, Flamey certainly making a little bit easier of a case here. Now the reply by Twist, the bomb will go down, and that already is a success in this round for NaVi. Looking ahead, they've got to defend it now against these 4 retake members of Liquid.
Yeah, this Elige on cat kill here could be absolutely huge. If Flamey gets this, that's basically round over. Caught in the crossfire as they try and come out kitchen now. Nitro and Twist can have to pull off an absolute miracle of a round if they want to get back in this. As Simple and Electronic will finish them off. And the first round in the back pocket for NaVi. So we need to see how they continue to progress. Yesterday versus Vitality, the Dust touched on this. NaVi, they still got the victory, but we're still seeing where this roster is at, because coming into it, they either did a fantastic job of sandbagging and making everybody seem that they were a couple on the rocks, you know, a married couple that were having that 7-year itch. But right now it feels that they're definitely prepared, and they've been playing some good Counter-Strike. Liquid's going to be that next test.
Liquid is the test, indeed, a test in their own right as well. I mean, they did talk about on the desk, Stewie2K being that recent addition, and not a whole lot of data to pull from what it is they have or have not done thus far. Team Liquid, a heavy contender, if not easily the best North American team currently. And this one, well, they're just looking to go 3-0. This is a Legends match, both of these teams having won both of their openers.
This is an important round right now for Liquid. They clearly have so much firepower in this roster and have gone for the Force Buy. That's 3 Deagles for Twist, Stewie, and NAF, and the Scout in the hands of Elige. Nitro does pick up the AWPing duties for this squad. He's only gone for the USP. It will be another B play, as we can see all 5 members of NaVi now congregating over towards Twist and Naf's position.
Yeah, Twist is going to be that first line of contact there as they start to edge their way in right now. And any second now, he's going to have that indication. Now the call has been made. The smoke has been dropped. He's going to try to stop him off before they get too far in. But Edward sees right through the game plan of Twist. Now Naf needs to land a shot and can only do it onto Zeus. And in this equation, NaVi has come out on top with the weaponry. Obviously, the 4AK is still alive. And what is Elige and Stewie 2K?
Definitely have to save here.
Definitely have to and are in fact going to do that. Elige backing off, saving this scout, and Stewie saving his 100 armor and a deagle. So next round he will be able to purchase head armor, which could go a long way, I suppose.
Something to note, a lot of teams, they try and bully the players on the extremities, right? You know, you want to target Zeus when he's holding that B bomb side, or there's other players over who are the A anchor who you just really want to fluster and you want to make them seem weak so the rotation comes in. But on this Team Liquid side, there's no real weak link. We saw Nitro yesterday have an absolutely phenomenal game to get them to this position. So you know everybody can perform. You know that all 5 of these players just get it done. And what's more fantastic is not only do they have phenomenal aim, they're really good individuals, but they can focus on their crosshair while still understanding the bigger picture.
Right. And that, you know, that's something we've been talking about for a while, I think, is a very impressive aspect of everyone on this Liquid lineup, individually speaking.
Trace, just quickly, there's more on the line here than just going 3-0 and making it through to the championship bracket.
There's also a chance to go home.
Well, there is that. That's a long way down the snake, but up the ladder to the championship bracket, what you can be playing for here is to be on the opposite side of the bracket to Astralis.
That would go a long way long term. I think you are absolutely correct. And another save round here on the side of Liquid, not having upgraded too much. They do have a couple deagles and that saved scout from Elige. What you're saying is basically NaVi at this point want to build up that sort of trust that is built in Twist holding the B site. They want to be able to abuse that later on.
Yeah, I'm alluding to more the fact it's difficult to condition the players on Liquid because they're more than happy to get back into the fights, right? Twist isn't going to feel bullied at all. He's just going to feel like, all right, well, next time you come, I'm going to destroy you. As Elige is going to take some damage, and in the exchange, Electronic's going to have to get on out of there. As NaVi now have 4 players through the mid corridor. And Flamey's still in T-spawn. There is 50 seconds left on the clock, so lots of time to work with. But it looks like a B split and the read has been made.
Yeah, and that smoke there towards the top of connector is going to go ahead and isolate off any vision that Liquid could have had crossing that catwalk.
4 guys are going to be on B any minute. You can look at Elige now, top left. He's currently in CT spawn, making the way over. This could be a fight for NaVi.
This could very well be that. They've already taken a considerable amount of damage as it stands, and looks like they're kind of stopped dead in their tracks. Nitro finding a big one there on the Simple with his USP. Well, the fight will ensue, but the timer is also ticking down. They have actually stalled out here on the catwalk, but the weird rotation is coming in from Liquid. They have actually abandoned the B bomb site. Twist is going to be the first one to find contact over there because, well, they have actually returned to Cinder. The initial package on its way and planning there in the B bomb site will get planted.
The perfect read there, Trace.
A big deagle kill, though, onto Zeus, and in this moment, Liquid maybe, just maybe, can edge out a few more kills here and cost them in the monetary game. Ambitious to say that they can win the round at this point.
Yeah, well, with no kid, it's just going to be damage being done. I think you're bang on there as Elige is going to grab another. Electronic's going to struggle to get away on 29 points of health. Flamey's going to make it a little bit easier for him to get out of dodge. But bang on. The economy damage here, the fact that they've got a lot done with so very little, is good signs going into the next gun round for Team Liquid. All 3 of these opening rounds have ended with bomb plants on the B bomb site for NaVi. So definitely that side of the map has had a lot of attention early.
But it'll be interesting to see how NaVi shakes it up now that they know they're facing guns. Now that they know that these weapons are in the hands of Team Liquid, they're going to have to think about it a little more thoroughly than just barreling out on the B site. Or perhaps they do, and the story continues, that is the demolition of B.
Yeah, I don't think Twist is going to let that happen time and time again. Just to note with the Augs, we do see 4 coming out straight away from Team Liquid. The Augs allow you to hold angles a little bit more aggressively than the M4 would. You're seeing players taking more audacious duels, and I think that's a nice change in Counter-Strike at the moment, as we do see the classic mid-control smokes coming out from NaVi. 3 players wanting to grab that part of the map, as Stewie appears to be asking for a flash, you know, looking and...
Yeah, hey, flash me out, flash me out. And well, not that that might pan out for him, but certainly if the flash was good enough, he would probably find at least one there. It's just not going to be the case, though. He's going to have to position himself there in the connector, supported by Elige, not far behind him.
That smoke that's just been dropped to the feet buys them that extra 18 seconds, right? The underpass players can't push through due to the one-way capabilities, and Simple just has to wait because the trade potential isn't there right now. As that smoke starts to fade, a second window smoke comes in, and now they can fight.
Yes, this is the flash he's looking for. Stewie, though, looking the wrong way, unfortunately, and Elige having to play a little bit of cleanup there. NaV also getting involved from the window room. So slowly but surely, as the minute mark on the timer has passed, NaVi starting to fall apart in this round. 3 members alive, and bomb being down there towards the top middle in the TV room area. They don't have a clear path as to where they're trying to go. Flamey, though, that should help to change the tide as to at least what direction they may want to consider going. They might not know that Nitro is hanging out there at the ticket booth with the AWP, though, and running into him could spell disaster, even though this is the tightest of angles he could possibly hold at this moment. They are all over this connector, and they're just waiting for Liquid to give up one more frag here, and then they're going to have to move. But that timer has ticked down all the way, Chad. It has gone the full distance. The bomb is now in sight. Zeus very low. The Molotov is going to come out. Don't think it's going to stop him. In fact, the bomb does go down. Zeus does escape narrowly. And Nitro now very, very hurt in the process, 4 HP. And this is going to be a very interesting retake on our hands. NaV trying to get into the skirmish, but ultimately Nitro falls victim to the crossfire, and a big kill from NaV, keeping him in this round. Twist and NaV now on the retake. 2 AUGs. Got 1 kit on NaV, an electronic there in the connector, and Zeus there on a ramp. This is a difficult one nonetheless. They don't have a smoke for the bomb. They don't have a way to diffuse the vision.
That's it.
And they've got to back away. That's right, Chad. They've got to back away from this. Ticked away from him. A 4th round on the board for Natus Vincere.
They were defeated by patience then. Neither Zeus or Electronic picked. Neither of them actually could see that nobody was defusing the bomb. Zeus was low towards A ramp. I thought he had to make contact first, and then Electronic would have a chance to swing, but they didn't really need to do anything. I feel like Elige overextended right there. They had the number advantage. They knew that mid was compromised. He didn't need to take that duel. That was the door in for NaVi. And the fact that they all went through that mid corridor, the fact they all came up connector meant they knew mid control was in their back pocket. It meant that they could plant open, and it gave them an opportunity to get into the round. We will see Liquid reinvest. They have 3 AUGs. Obviously saved a couple of guns just there. UMP for Stewie having the compromise. They've gone for the aggressive top mid smoke.
Yeah, they want to fight middle. They don't want to give up that just now. And of course, we saw this same smoke in the last map. Astralis was really abusing it. But for the time being, there is a sort of set going on here. Yeah. And Chad, kind of walk me through this.
This is a 2-waved attack because Flamey and Simple are both still in T-spawn. That tells me that they want to throw the mid-smokes once more. So the early utility usage was just to bait out whatever Team Liquid had. Now the second wave comes in, and they'll actually take it on that. So you can see the cat smoke, the connector smoke, the window smoke, that's all landed. Now they can take it comfortably.
Yeah, the utility is going to prove to be a problem here. Just a little bit left on NaV and Nitro, and only the flash on Elige. However, no one has fallen in this round thus far as NaVi aggress towards Catwalk, pushing there in middle. They do have complete control of it. And should those smokes fade, Elige would have a good vision. Stewie taking some damage over there towards the A site, but for what it's worth, this bomb now making its way back towards the TV room, probably setting up for what will a B split.
Oh, that's a dangerous combo. Electronic and Simple going to take on Twist, who's jump spotting for information. Nitro is back towards the kitchen door, so he can't really assist too much. As I say that, he's going to reposition.
Yeah, and they've already drawn that Molotov out, so they're buying just a little bit of time. Yes, the clock is ticking, but will it be enough time to stop NaVi right here in their tracks? The hit's going to come on now. 5 alive, 4 alive, and I say that. Twist takes down Electronic. Nitro also getting into the fight. The skirmish is going well in the way of Liquid as it stands, as Nitro grabs a second. It's now going to be up to Flamey and Simple to fight off Liquid in their defensive positions, and it's going to be Flamey by his lonesome. And that's not going to last too long either. Liquid with the first round on the board here in this first half, giving us a 1-4. And for Liquid, that one turned out quite well.
Yeah, NaVi might feel a bit hard done by in that situation. They did a really good job of milking out the utility and then giving themselves an opportunity where it's just heads-up duels. But this B defense, it's not the standard way of holding that site by any means, especially with Nitro back towards the kitchen watching Cat. But they made it work. They made those AUGs absolutely show what they're worth. And right now, NaVi have enough money to reinvest, but this may be the last buy round if they're unable to convert or get a plant.
Yeah, this would be a big stand for Liquid when it comes down to the economy game. Nitro with the AWP has found himself a home at Ticket Booth. And pretty much out there by himself, but we do have that aggressiveness from Elige. He has postured himself well up the catwalk, but nonetheless, it does seem as NaVi want to try to abuse this B bomb site just a little bit. We don't see the sort of secondary smoke off and perhaps even bait out utility in this situation. It looks like all 5 members stacked here in this B site. Well, should the hit come on right now, Twist will be their first point of contact, and they'll have to eradicate him. And the fleur-de-lis of grenades are coming over the top. Now finding one there from the market. And Twist underneath still hasn't been found out, and he is not going to be. In fact, he's going to put 2 on the board for himself. Naf finishing out the round. Big play from both of them there, and really well played that from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, you notice these different setups that Liquid are throwing out early. When Nitro has the AWP, he doesn't go towards window, he plays ticket. There was more emphasis on mid from Elige and Stewie. Elige was quite aggressive while Stewie was playing around the window and that connector. And then over towards B, Naf was there to help Twist this time. So a lot of dynamic showing so far from Liquid. And I actually think with the 5 players in this team, they could actually play a spawn-based style of Counter-Strike where everybody understands the game, they understand the roles, they understand the positions. And on certain maps like Dust 2 on the CT side, where it's so important to get utility into the long doors, they could show so many different styles. It's actually a very tantalizing prospect.
It's a very interesting idea, right? We don't see a whole lot of teams electing to go for a spawn-based anything.
Takes a lot of theory striking and making sure people are very comfortable at being all-round Counter-Strike players, but Liquid have 5 players in who, in my opinion, can do it. There's so many hybrids.
That's right. Underneath that balcony will be Stewie 2K. They've elected to go with a little bit stronger of a defense here on this A side. Elige covering the connector for Team Liquid. And, well, for weaponry, NaVi has not a whole lot to show for themselves, nor do they have any utility. In fact, on the back of one Deagle in Simple's hand, a man that we know that can be very dangerous with it, this will be a very hard task indeed.
Oh, the point man unable to get anything done. Nitro too quick with the big green from the ticket booth, and Elige is going to get the work done with the AK. So at this point, NaVi, all they've managed to do is bait out utility from Team Liquid. Doesn't feel like they can do any damage frag-wise. Zeus is going to be the last man standing.
Speaking of doing damage frag-wise, Goose Egg speaking for itself right there, but that's completely fine. It's a very early game.
Very early.
And that is, well, just about how we expected that one to go down. Another round on the board for Team Liquid, 3-4, and they have bounced back pretty well here. All things considered. Will not lose any weapons there, and that money will start to stack up for the CTs. If you're just joining us, you've picked a good time again. Perhaps you took a break from the last matchup, but you've wandered yourself back to your PC. And even your social media, go ahead and get involved. Use hashtag IEM. Show us how you're watching the game. Tell us your predictions. Talk about Chad.
This looks like a fast A-split approach right here because Simple and Flamey are both in halls and have to take this duel as Stewie's going to stop that right in its tracks. Simple will eventually get the trade, but whatever their original plan was, it's going to be hampered. They're going to have to rethink this one. Simple's already gotten all the way out. Oh, well, as I say that, he makes his way back across.
Now, the bomb being over here by itself poses a very interesting question, right? Because, yes, they have spread Liquid across the map, and it will be 2 defenders on each site, but for what it's worth, what's the long-term play here? Are we looking at an A-split? Are we potentially thinking maybe we can get into connector? There would be no one to challenge them in mid right now, but of course they don't know that.
Exactly, and Electronic is about to find that out as he flashes his way in, but we can see on the radar that there is a bit of cat aggression. Twist has boosted up on the box now. He's an overseer covering cat and connector. They could go for a window boost, but that option isn't on the cards right now. Is Edward over towards B, waiting for aggression. Zeus covering off under window. Electronic top mid with Simple, as you mentioned, holding that bomb. They're more than happy to be patient and hope that we see more aggression from Liquid.
Yeah, they want to punish Liquid right here. They want to catch them off guard, maybe someone peeking and maybe getting out of character here. But they're going to find a little bit of a fight here in middle, and as the clock continuously just dwindles down, they're not really giving themselves many options.
They're going B. This is going to surely, oh, as I said that, Edward goes underpass. So it appears that they want to do misdirection on Cat, and Edward and Zeus are going to come up connector with Simple pushing out of Palace, but Elige pushing a ramp. He here He's the crux of this round.
Yeah, Elige pushed up so far. We'll give them a ton of information. Of course, Nitro there with the AWP at Ticket will prove to be the big green that Liquid need. 9 seconds on the clock now. It'd be very, very ambitious to think that you can get this bomb planted. But hey, you know what? I think they might just have it. Barely, just barely. Simple gets the bomb down here in the A-bomb site. Nitro puts one into his back, and now Edward finds himself in a weird spot over here towards jungle. He knows that he has to concede this. There's not a whole lot he can do. It wasn't really planted for him at all. And in fact, he does get out of dodge. So another round on the board for Liquid, but a bomb plant for NaVi.
Yeah, a round that started very quick with that Palace duel, slowed right down. NaVi didn't really take any duels as a team. And now we're 4 rounds on the trot for Liquid. Another gun round is likely to come out from NaVi because of that saved AK. They have enough money to get AKs up, but not a full amount of utility. They also won't be able to get the AWP. It depends on the strat, depends on the approach from NaVi. I'm curious to see if they want to change up the pace, because the slow rounds, they're really just, you know, not allowing Team Liquid to go for many duels.
No, they are not. We do have a little bit of a pause coming out here.
I do believe it's a technical timeout.
Yes. But is it technical if it's people, Chad? That's the real question.
I guess there's still a problem. Yeah, people are pretty technical.
People can be very technical and complex at their very core. But we will, in fact, get back into the action here. The scoreline is currently 4-4. With the purchasing power of NaVi in this round, it'll be Edward with the AK he saved from last round. That did go in the way of Liquid after they did get the bomb down. So marginal success, to say the least. And it does look like they've moved Nitro around in this moment.
What it looks like here, what I can see on the radar, is NaVi are going to do the wall smokes over towards A to draw attention towards that bomb site, allowing 3 players to walk up underpass and flank those connector players.
Yeah, but there's a real chance here that Liquid can potentially smell this out. However, Simple, with this MAC-10 in the window room, regardless of Flamey killing on Nitro, Simple could, in fact, be that big stick in the spokes right here. Well, they're going to have to show face. This smoke is fading. It's going to be Simple that finds Elige. Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, it was Elige. Actually, Stewie2k is just too quick with it. TK coming in there from Flamey, and Stewie2k staying alive with another frag. Edward and Zeus now left in a real awkward position, kind of stuck out in no man's land, and it's going to be NaV to take down Edward. Stewie2k with the follow-up on Zeus. And a following round for Liquid. Now things are going to get interesting because we have another buy round coming in.
Yeah, and that's an approach that NaVi can try again, because they did have a lot of success when getting territory. Those 2 Simple smokes pulled the rotation. They're able to get Simple into window. They're able to get up into connector. So the strat itself was quite nice. It's just NaVi really had the lesser weaponry. That TK doesn't help the situation. But right now, that AWP will come out in the hands of Simple. We might get a head-to-head duel at some point, as he is going over towards Apps with that gun. Mid control is being feigned right now by Edward. And just a standard setup from the side of Liquid. NaV towards Cat, Elige, Nitro, window and connector respectively, and Stewie having the gargantuan task of being the A anchor.
Now, they've transitioned this op over from Ticket, right? We saw it over towards Ticket booth earlier on. Nitro finding himself in connector, trying to take that top mid duel. It's a fair duel. Of course, you never really know who's got the op on the other side over there. Most likely Simple, and, well, yes, he can be beaten. It's a big scalp to take in any round. You do see him perched up now in Palace, trying to get an opper or someone, perhaps peek him there from the jungle area, the window room area. But the Molotov will back him off just a little bit. Just enough to be the thorn. He's not alone over here at the A site. There's going to be Stewie2k up on the balk. Very, very aggressive angle here. And he might just end up walking into a crosshair. I think Stewie, with that shot, has to back off a little bit. He knows what he's playing with here, and it's fire. It's the scope of an op. You walk into it, you're pretty much caught in the crossfire, and that's going to be that. NaVi look like they have changed their mind.
What are they doing?
And really would love to know what the mid-round calling looks like over here for NaVi as we approach the 30-second mark. Simple having to smoke himself off to even get a shot in on this round from the Palace area. And what nades they do have, they're going to use from A ramp. 20 seconds on the clock now. Flamey, the first casualty in the round, is going to be Stewie2k with the kill. And as the reply, Zeus gets his first of the game. NaV finding 2. And now Electronic and Simple doing what they have to do. With 8 seconds left in the clock, it's not going to be much, Chad.
I'm not quite sure what the approach is here because they're being given mid for relatively free, right? Liquid aren't contesting for it. In the early stages, they did the top mid smoke. There was another round where Elysian pushed on up, but here they're getting it for free. And now they're just limping into late round picks onto bomb sites. You don't want to be picking into the site when there's 25, 30 seconds left. You want to already be established with your idea. If you have no utility left, sure, you can walk out dry. You can try and take some jewels. You can get someone to jiggle peek, maybe jump wide so the AWP can get a kill. But it feels very one at a time. It doesn't feel like they're doing it as a unit.
Yeah, and I said I would love to hear the mid and late round calls from these guys because it seems like it just has to be getting so chaotic or something over there, right?
Maybe there's just no direction at all. But
or maybe there is no one steering the ship. That is a very real possibility. However, we do have weaponry here on the side of NaVi. Again, simple with the AWP.
This is a more direct approach. You can see how close they are towards this A bomb site. Electronic and Flamey at A ramp, simple through apps again. And utility is probably going to come over any second, putting a lot of pressure on Stewie, who is playing retake over towards Ticket.
Now, when this hit does come in, it's going to take Elysian to flex back towards this connector. And they're going to come out in force. Electronic getting a big shot there on the Stewie. Simple also becoming activated, taking out Nitro. So with 3 members alive on Team Liquid, they're going to have to re-strategize a way to retake it. That bomb's going to go down without a fight. Twist backing off. I'm not really sure what the play here from Liquid is. Perhaps they're going to try to set up for some exit kills. Maybe punish that economy a little bit more. And, well, they're going to find Electronic in their path so far, being the only casualty on the side of NaVi.
This is such a strange game of Counter-Strike.
Isn't it, though?
It feels like when space is being given up or when a site has been taken, they're just more than happy, like, yeah, that's cool, you can have it, we'll let you have the round. With the way that they were positioned in middle then, they didn't necessarily have to push all the way through and go for the flank. I didn't think they thought that Nitro was going to die in transition there. They're going to hold on to these guns. They have a lot of money in the bank. You can see on the left side of your screen that a lot of players on the Team Liquid side have surplus of 5k, and Elysian has the lowest, but he's still carried through armor, a gun, a bit of utility as well. Nitro's going to pick up the AWP again. NaVi will be happy with that, and they had more of a direct approach. So that's what I like to see. They had an idea, they went with it, and they used their individuals to find the opening jewels. From there, get the bomb down and convert the round. So let's see if they continue that style of play, or if they go back to the very slow, drawn-out defaults where they're hoping members from Team Liquid overextend, where they're hoping members from Team Liquid take the jewels, take the fights.
Yeah. You know, this is a tactical timeout there for NaVi, it would appear.
I'm just really puzzled right now because I can see the buy. NaV has 4.8k in the bank. He was already full board, but he's decided to go with an MP9. That tells me that there's probably some aggression coming in here.
Things are probably about to get strange, aren't they, Chad?
Yeah, well, looking at his spawn, he has the closest spawn towards the A bomb site. He might try and push the A ramp and get in their face. Maybe he'll go straight down connector and then barrel up mid. But either way, he's not going to be playing that cap position, which we've been seeing him do in the other standard rounds. So this is a very unique approach. I'm expecting aggression out of Liquid just based off this buy from NaV.
Yeah, well, let's see what NaV can do. He is leading the pack right now.
Going apps.
Yeah, he's going to try to punish Simple. They knew that Simple had been in here for a couple rounds in a row. Flamey too quick on the draw, and he just eliminates NaV and Elysian. There was not a hope for them in that round, and a hell of a shot from Flamey. Really does leave Liquid at a disadvantage. However, Stewie2K, Nitro twist with AWP in Nitro's hands. Perhaps they can formulate some line of defense in this moment.
I can't make any sense of that buy. I understand he's going aggressive, but why the MP9?
Because the way she goes.
Well, after those lightning fast shots from Flamey, I don't think he'd be doing that one again. Right now, all you would do if you're NaVi is regroup and execute onto a bomb site as a team. Simple execution, nothing over the top, and then you'd trade out. You'd have good spacing, you'd isolate the members on the bomb site, and because it is a 5v3, if you trade 1-for-1, you're going to find yourself winning the round with 2 players alive.
Right. And odds are, there's like there are right now, 2 in one site and 1 in the other. But this is even a NaVi, we're seeing them, they're playing this sort of style in a 5v5. This is what's dwindling down the clock for them and making it really tough in the late rounds. Does look like the A hit is on. Stewie2K finds one. Can't seem to put together a double there. Simple's going to take him out with the AWP. A good nade. Quite a bit of damage, and the call has been made. It's going to be Nitro and Twist as bomb does get planted. Twist trying to stop the planner in his tracks. Can't seem to do it.
They're going to be stuck here if they try and save. Electronic was already making his way through underpass. With that kill, he's actually turned his head back towards the A bomb site because now there is a chance for a retake. Team Liquid are still posturing. They're waiting to see if anybody else wants to offer themselves up. And that smoke from Nitro could have been instrumental, but he's going to get tagged down, and now the save call will come in. Edward in the window position, Trace, is huge.
Yeah, this could be the pincer, and this could end up very badly. That smoke and the timing just did not work out for Nitro. Twist with the AWP, though. This is going to be awkward. I guess there's a chance that he hopes Edward pokes his head through. Nonetheless, he should be able to save this AWP, and NaVi really don't want that. They want to take it away from him. A 6th round on the board there for NaVi. Team Liquid on par with that. As we go into the 13th round of the first half of the first map of this best of 3.
And like the Des mentioned, to kick this off, this is game of the day. The ramifications of going 3-0 right now puts you on the opposite side of the bracket to Astralis. That can't be reiterated enough. That is a huge victory. Whereas the loser of this will have to go down. We'll have to play a 2-1 match, and then there is the possibility they may get seeded on that side. And this is seeds number 2 and 3 respectively. This time Elige going towards middle will be Molotov back, smokes it off so he can continue to duel. Gets his head in front of the smoke, and Flamey again opens it up with another huge shot.
Yeah, Naf's got to back off on that notion. Once the Elige goes down, he knows that the numbers are not going to favor them. If he takes a fight here, they almost certainly get punished on one site or the other. Should he fall, of course. Now, Nitro and Team Liquid are going to have to stand fast and hold their ground. Nitro with that AWP there at the top of Connector, peeking more towards Catwalk and able to traverse over to the A side of things. And again, NaVi waiting it out. That Molotov could prove to be a bad omen for Naf. He's able to get away, though. That ladder room, quick escape for him. And 2 ops here. Stewie2K also having 1. So, more heavier beat presence from the side of Liquid. And for Simple and this Not As Sincere lineup, he might just end up trying to take that. They're going to pop flash into that ladder room, find the frag. A great flash there. Edward's able to capitalize. Twist is going to have to back off and hope that, well, he can't get away. They now know he's there. So NaVi, having done all of that, will now wait it out again and perhaps wait for another advantage in their favor. Looks more towards the A side there. Stewie2K grabbing a K for himself in this round with the AWP.
Has to do a lot more, though. The pressure is definitely on this A-bomb side. They've switched their attention. That's going to be a second big shot from Stewie right now. Continues to peak. Retaking with 2 orbs could be difficult, but they're not even getting the bomb down at this rate as they continue to fight. Nitro finds 1. Now Flamey is going to be the caretaker for Zeus.
Boom.
Stewie again, and now Zeus left on a 1-on-3. Not going to get it done. And Liquid post another round on the board. A lot of pressure placed on Stewie defending that A-bomb site there, and he has stepped right up.
Big flicks there from Jake Yep and a big round overall. 7th one on the board as we look to sort of wind down this first half of play in this best of 3. Stewie2K, the most recent addition to Team Liquid, is certainly proving his worth over there. Again, it was mentioned that they did beat Astralis at IEM Masters, which is a success on their own. They were the final boss for Liquid all of last year, for the most part.
That's one of those results where you can take it with a grain of salt or not. Depends on the way you want to look at it. A lot of people said that for Liquid, that was a mental edge that they needed, especially for the core of the team.
An asterisk on it no matter what, huh?
But it was just one of those kickoff events. And as we're back into this, Elige is already going to find the opening kill. So we will get back into the game. And that kill did go down on that A-ramp position. So Flamey, he has opened up the last 2 rounds for NaVi. This time, he'll be the first to drop. And now re-aggression in towards Palace. So a lot of information gathering early for Liquid.
Now that seems like a more viable approach for Liquid. If they want to play an aggressive A, that seems like a much better way to do it than, say, buying SMGs and rushing through the halls and being punished by Flamey. Can't really account for that, but what you can account for is Elige slipping through the lines here. He's going to try to peek his way into T-spawn. He's waiting it out. He's going to have the angle of a lifetime there. Electronic Shadow really giving him away. Didn't spot that the bomb was down in T-spawn, so ultimately did make the right call. It's now a 3v5 in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, you heard me say it from the T side before where they just have to regroup and trade out. Well, now the CTs don't have to overextend. They can sit back, make sure they have a buddy in tow to trade, play the information game. As soon as you see somebody from NaVi, use that utility you have. We've got 2 Molotovs left on the board, a bunch of flashes to delay them because we know they've been playing very slow. 40 seconds left on the clock. Edward will come through connector here, and a lot of pressure on Simple and Zeus, who have to make some picks over towards this A ramp.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Liquid, that The third player will be set up for the B side of things, but this hit's going to be on A, whether they like it or not. It's going to be Zeus out there in front there on the Tetris, followed by Simple, and then Edward in the connector. So the hit is now on. He spotted Edward in the connector. Nitro being that sole player to sort of defend this default plant. He's going to try to get the spam down, having calm down, finally landing it. Stewie2K getting involved as well, and that was a rather convincing hold from Team Liquid, having only one casualty in the entire round. And they do retain the weaponry as we look at the last round of the half, 8-6 for Team Liquid.
Looks like a 9-6 considering NaVi's money situation right now. No one with over 2.8K. I just want to note, you can see that in the last round there were two AWPers. It was Stewie and Twists. And before it was Nitro. So when we talk about the diversity of this unit, everybody is able to wield the big green if they have to, and it keeps them very unpredictable. This looks like it will be an A execute right now from NaVi, as we can see everybody postured over towards that side of the map. Stewie is the lone defender. He's dropped that AWP back to Nitro, and he's on the balconies with the AUG. So lots of pressure early on him.
A lot of pressure, and with the utility they have, they're going to have to string together something. It's like the fleur-de-lis of smokes over that A bomb site here. Liquid, well, Stewie2K well entrenched. He does have an AUG. Best weapon in the game, hands down. It's going to be a slow and methodical clear here from NaVi as they try to edge their way out onto this A site. They do have the bomb in the rear. There's going to be a second wave of smokes. They want to make sure that they do have some forward scouting going on here from the likes of Flamey and Simple. Two heavy hitters, especially Flamey right now, really on one, but the hit is on. It's going to be Stewie2K posted up. Does take down Simple. Let's see if he can grab another one. Spots another towards Sandwich. It's going to be Flamey coming out on top. Nitro, while landing a shot, doesn't in fact take anyone down, just legs the guy there in Electronic. That is in Palace.
Elijah's flank is going to be instrumental here. Flamey thinks something's up. He's already positioned with that. I think the leg was spotted by Elige. This duel right here could make or break the round for NaVi. Elige, he's not going to swing. He's not going to get it done as Flamey continues his crisp aim.
Big kill from Naf, though. Take that scalp through the smoke. Now they've got to look onward. There will be no saving this round. A second big kill there onto Zeus. And, it's paying off nonetheless, Chad. It really is a big op kill from Twist. This one's all gone wrong. And unless Electronic could have done the unthinkable, which he can't, the defuse will come in with ease, and Liquid will make it 9-6 here to round out the first half, Chad.
Unless there was something going on that I didn't quite see right there. I don't know why Zeus felt the need to pick from that position, but the 9-6 half will fall to Liquid, as you mentioned. We're going to be checking out the second half after a quick break.
Liquid versus Natus Vincere here. Both these teams are vying for that spot in the playoffs to join Astralis. And my name is Trey Saranthus, joined by Chad Sponge Burchill. And what's been an up and down half of sorts, Liquid have seemingly figured out a good rhythm here going into the second half. 9-6 currently in the first map of Mirage. If you're just joining us, thank you, and come again.
Felt like an interesting half of almost chicken in a lot of ways. Liquid were giving up a lot of territory early. NaVi were very slow in their approach, waiting for aggression. Both teams were more than happy just to sit and wait, and Liquid came out on top. That last round, some questionable decisions from the players of NaVi. So we will see it 9-6 half in the favor of Team Liquid, but overall a close game. Pistol round right now. Lots of utility on the side of Liquid.
A lot of it.
Nitro has a decoy, which is just lobbed on out. Smoker 2 flashes. Stewie with a Molotov and a smoke of his own. And it looks like B is the port of call once more as Liquid look to repeat what we saw NaVi do.
That's right. Very, very heavy B presence, and hell, they're doing it with a fury of pace as well. I mean, as they jump right out of the windows, there's really no damage to be taken. Zeus will be the only guy in sight, and that won't last very long now, will it? Twist taking the best of him. Electronic is able to do something, and for what it's worth, there are 3 members now of NaVi already set up for a retake. They might be able to use this to their advantage, but the call has to be coming in from Twist. Now it's Punch battle on with Simple. They're trying to retake this fast. They didn't want to let Liquid get set up in this site, and they're just not going to do it. Flurry of frags, and that retake was abysmal.
That's a mirror of the first pistol round of the game from NaVi. They did the same thing. They got into the bomb site, they locked out the rotations, they stopped the cap player, and that was that. Now, we have to see if NaVi, they want to force buy. That's what we did see come out from Liquid. They went for the force buy on their CT side. They had a scout, they had some deagles. So far, I haven't seen NaVi purchase anything just yet.
Doesn't look like it. I mean, just the deagle there on Flamey and Simple.
Oh, there
actually, there we go. Yeah,
the
full on commitment to the cause there. Quite a few grenades. They're going to try to use these smokes to hold Team Liquid in these choke points. Flamey, though, having a really good game here. 15 and 12, 108 ADR. And
oh
as
my
I say
God!
That, the man reigns supreme. He has, in fact, eliminated Elysian Stewie 2K.
And the TK as
this
well.
Is not a good look for Liquid. Flamey finding a 3rd in the round, and well, they don't even have to find 5. That TK has pretty much put them in a very, very awful situation here. Nitro with the ump has tried to use this smoke to get out of there. Simple is gonna play in the smoke with him, and that was not a good look.
Flame on right now. This kid is hitting some absolute bangers of shots in the first half with the AK-47, obliterating heads of Liquid, and now with the deagle, able to snatch one back. We weren't sure about the investment. They went in for the late call for the force buy, and it paid off because right now, Liquid have to respond, and they want to respond in turn. They force bought their own. A couple of deagles, CZ, P250, and a Tech 9.
Yeah, the vintage Tech 9 has come out.
They want to bully this B bomb site. You heard me say they weren't going to bully Twist in the first half. Well, Zeus is a player who definitely can get bullied, and in the past has really been made to work. So this is where they want to hit nice and early.
Well, statistically speaking, I think they have selected the proper target. They're just going to have to wait out this Molotov before they get any closer to maybe getting on this B site. Again, Liquid with a plant here would be successful. With a round would be even bigger. Zeus finding a kill with the grenade and the follow-up. Done nothing to take him out of the round, and Flamey is now up for the party himself, except for Nat with the deagle. Not much to show for themselves in that round for Team Liquid. Just the frag onto Flamey.
Yeah, very important for them to keep so many members alive. You know, if they're able to get 3, maybe 4 kills, make it a very competitive round, then Liquid might be lulled into an idea that they can go for another force by keeping the economy under wraps for NaVi. But when it's a clean round like that, when you have 4 players survive, when you're able to get it done in a very convincing manner, Team Liquid have to respect it. They have to eco now. Yep. They have to concede. And that's going to let NaVi get up to 9 rounds as we do have the Glocks come out. There are 2 decoys. Interesting that they have been the purchase of choice for Twist and Naf. I'm not sure how they're going to use these as B is once again.
Yes, sir.
Zeus is on an island right now, though. He's all alone.
The Lonely Island, a new album featuring Zeus. And he has some support now in this side of Simple, but he's going to take a lot of damage there. Don't think Liquid have caught on to the fact that they have put so much pain down range, and they're going to have to back off now. Looks like they're going to go ahead and escape towards T-spawn, and it's probably going to have to be an A hit at this point. I mean, they've really fully committed Granted, NaVi haven't pushed up and really found this information out, but
they're going to use these decoys as fake smokes and flashes here. This is to draw out the utility of the A defenders. They're really making NaVi move around the map. They're very trigger happy with Zeus. When he gets pressured, they're going to heavy rotate over towards him. Flamey's going to be in a duel. He's going to get dropped down, and now there's a big rotation coming in towards this A site.
This is beautiful. Now all they need to do is keep that commitment there from NaVi over towards A. They have pulled the defenders off of B just a little bit. Zeus has to have had wind coming down towards him.
Wait, they're going back again?
The triple reverse Statue of Liberty play now from Team Liquid. Zeus again, the first line of defense, and he's going to find a kill too. And that information is going to be vital here as Liquid try to spill out onto this bomb site. And well, they will end up punishing that of Simple. Zeus stayed alive pretty long there, ultimately falls to NAF, and this bomb will be planted. So regardless, the outcome of the round was not pretty for Liquid, but they did get the plant. In fact, I'd really love to understand the strategy and the inner workings of that, Chad.
It made them move and it made them use utility. So there's positives there. They even get 2 kills in the plant. We need to note Simple. He's looking off. He's not hitting the shots he normally would. He's only sitting on 8 kills with 5 assists. This is not the vintage Simple. This is not the god of the game right now. He's being kept very humbled, whilst Flamey, he's having to do all the work. He has 19 frags. Zeus sitting at 9, the next closest. So 10 is the disparity right now. We're over on Team Liquid. 13 kills for Elige and NAF at the top of the scoreboard. And then down the bottom is Nitro on 10. So you can see that Team Liquid are doing it as a unit. Whereas right now, Flamey's impact is the only thing really helping NaVi stay in this battle, as they will post that 9th on the board. And now we have the first gun round of the second half.
A big one at that, considering the scoreline, 10-9. Liquid still the better. And they have opted not to immediately take this fight middle, even though they very well could. However, the smoke has them pushed back a little bit. And Flamey here on the other side of it, considering the game he's having, it's not exactly the guy that Liquid want to run into right away. Now unsure as to just how much control NaVi have. They're going to have to use a Molotov there to clear out the other side of top mid. Flamey turn for the anti-flash, and this could be devastating. And in fact, it will be for Nitro. Flamey lands a beautifully placed headshot.
Missing.
And it's kind of unreal right now, very scary for that of Liquid if you're facing NaVi in this moment. I mean, looking at how they're trying to set up, Liquid are just trying to get something going in their direction. Especially now, they don't want to see a gun round go to waste.
What's unique is the way that Flamey postured so aggressively, so confidently in a position where he could be swarmed at any minute. And he's going up against the best aimers in North America. He has absolutely no qualms with taking duels and taking fights. Repositioned to the right side of window. He's going to get another chance for a duel. Flashed in, gets the pick. Will be traded out by Twist now, but it is a 3-on-4 situation. There's 26 seconds left on the clock. It looks like they have to go B because Bomb is with NAF in the B holes.
And Flamey has done more than enough in this round, having been the only loss of life over on NaVi so far. Simple takes a considerable amount of damage, and now Zeus will join Flamey in the grave. So, Elige trying to come through the back lines of the market there, but the AUG raining through yet again, and it's going to be a storm unleashed down onto NAF. That's going to be a 3K there from Edward, and another round on the board for NaVi, giving us a 10-10 scoreline. And wow, Flamey, I have to say, is really putting in some work right now for NaVi.
Great awareness from Edward there, knowing that Kitchen was an option. That kill would have been absolutely instrumental in that attack for Liquid. He was the only member that they had to take out, but not only does he get the rotator coming in for the flank, he's able to mop up the other two, just jiggling around the poles, understands the amount of time left, doesn't allow them to have an easy way in at all. And Edward, with a lot of impact there, forces Team Liquid down to pistols once more. Nades towards window, a change of approach. They force Simple back. He does have the AWP. He's been chunked down to 42 by the HE grenades. And the rotation swiftly off of mid will be back towards the A bomb site, where Electronic is at the fireboxes waiting to receive, and Edward over towards stairs and connector. So they do have a decent defense, and they do have a lot of utility left to deal with this, even if they do lose the bomb site.
Now, Chad, I know dry running is a very ancient art form.
Oh, it's still done. Don't you worry.
But would love to see some of the Liquid dry runs should some of these things, like the round we saw with the decoys, you know. I think that one would definitely be one to go over in the playbook. But the playbook right now has them going out A. It's going to be Simple striking first blood here onto Twist. The Electronic chiming in as well, coming online very much so. And well, that's going to be a bomb plant. And now it's going to be up to Flamey and Zeus. If there's one man in this match so far that can definitely put that hurting on them, it will be Flamey. 10-10 the score now with the bomb planted. Liquid, having that AWP in Stewie's hand will prove to be the downfall of Zeus. Now Flamey, 1v2. Does have a kit. He's gonna try to flash himself out there, checks the sandwich pretty thoroughly, doesn't end up checking all Tetris, and that's going to be his demise. Nitro there, just barely, but he does escape what would have been the witnessing.
Team Liquid have looked more dangerous with pistols in their second half so far. They've been doing things as a unit. Where in these gun rounds, they're spread out and they were getting picked apart. They weren't able to trade onto Flamey, who was just too sharp. Yeah. Was flashed into occasions, able to take aggressive duels, but here it was a team, you know, they executed, they were trading efficiently. In the chaos, they came out on top with their aim because pound for pound, Simple is the best player in the world. Electronic is definitely up there in the discussion as one of the best players in the world. But when you look at the remainder of members, okay, Flamey is playing out of his skin right now. On the other side of things, pound for pound, you have Twist, Nitro, Lige, Stewie, NaV. These are massive names. If they just play together, if they trade off of each other, if they do the fundamentals right, it should be very easy for them to get into a lot of these bomb sites.
Very true, Chad.
It's Coach Adren right there.
Scan that barcode.
Formerly a Team Liquid player. I used to play against him back in the day. In-game leaders going head-to-head. I think he got the better of me more often than not, but he's now the tactical mind behind this fragging unit.
Absolutely correct, and you can see just some of the innovation there. Not only was Stewie K brought on board, but as well as Adren. That is absolutely correct. Now, with Simple AWP in hand, we're going to see him try to challenge this top middle. They don't want to concede mid-control any more than they have to, and now he's got wind that they will ultimately have, whether they like it or not. Nice little crossfire set up here, but Edward left alone in the connector will be punished for it. You had your chance to get out of dodge, and Stewie, well, he just sent you there regardless. Simple with the follow-up. Does end up punishing Stewie, and now 3 members alive for Team Liquid. Nitro, Lige, and NaV. NaV has found himself a pretty nice spot, even though he will be Molotov pretty badly there. Ton of damage. He's going to throw just about everything he's got at the ticket booth, maybe to thwart off any peek from that side and potentially sell the idea that they're all there in force.
Zeus from Cat here could be absolutely huge. If he takes down a Lige when he has to progress onto the site to trade for allowing NaV and Nitro to get that bomb down, he could really ruin their chances of planting open. That means Electronic could swing from spawn and kill them when they're trying to plant safe. So this duel right here, it's a matter of timing as the Lige is going to get past. And now he's in a very safe position. And creeping forward as 30 seconds left on the clock. Nitro scoping up on this A bomb site. There aren't any duels that are going to happen in an immediate vicinity until Zeus lets one player of Nitro step in front. And he's not going to get it done as the re-peek from a Lige will save him. And the spam through the box from Electronic, it's almost good.
That was too close. Too close for comfort there for Nitro. Takes a large chunk of health at the hands of Electronic. And as the bomb does go down, Simple and Electronic, I think, have realized that this is not worth the fight.
Yeah, they need to save. If you look at their bank balance right now, they're not going to be going to McDonald's even for a meal at this moment.
That is very true, Chad. Dollar menu, a friend to all of us. Right now, the NaVi economy dwindling at its best.
With these 2 saved guns, I could definitely see a world where they would consider force buying behind it. This is your 2 best players normally. Right now, Flamey is the one leading the way. But Electronic and Simple need to come online. They need to turn it up a notch because right now, NaVi need a miracle. Team Liquid is starting to run away with this. Their approach is more direct, more decisive. And they're only 4 rounds away from taking NaVi's map pick of Mirage before we move on to map number 2. That would be Team Liquid's choice of Dust 2.
Ah, yes. The staple of Counter-Strike as we know it, Chad.
I'm really excited to see that matchup go down. Just the versatility of all the players on Liquid on a map like Dust 2.
Would love to see that sort of spawn-based theory that you're talking about come out right there. But
do that on any map, really. Dust 2 is one where it would, Dust 2, Inferno CT side for banana control. There's so much that they could really get done with it. And the buy will come in from NaVi behind these save weapons. 2 UMPs for Edward and Zeus. M4s in the hands of Electronic and Flamey. And Simple, with that carried over AWP, will have to be facilitated to find some opening duels right now.
Now, Team Liquid not having taken a timeout yet, 4 remaining. That was the last one there for the side of NaVi, and rightfully so. They're going to have to come up with a little bit more than resting on the fact that Flamey is having a very good game. 22 and 16, 116 ADR. More importantly, the impact of the frags that he is having is turning tides of rounds alone. Now we're going to see Liquid set up and stop at the hands of a Molotovs towards B. And what do you know? Flame Dogger himself hanging out right there at the arches. Hit's gonna come on. They're gonna try to do this in force. They want to do the brute force fashion. It's gonna be simple and Flamey show, and they can only find 2 in the motion. Elige there. Nitro now getting involved in the action as well. 3 versus 3. Zeus somehow still alive in the site. He's gonna get the kill onto Elige there underneath the archway. A disasterful turn of events. And oh my goodness, just a barely chinny chin hair miss there.
Good
Nitro.
from Zeus to stay alive in that scenario. He did get 2 kills in the end of things, but for him to be just a nuisance on the bomb site and difficult to flush him out, allows the rotation from Simple to come on in, allows him to get a kill with the AWP in transition. And what this has done is it's broken the money of Team Liquid. Only Nitro has enough money in the bank to really invest in anything. Elige sure can get the AK with light utility. Nitro has 8,650 right now. He could drop a couple of guns and they could go for a buy, because still they can destroy the economy of NaVi and finish the game from that point. Or they can take a save, be more conservative, wait till everybody has enough money across the board. We are just going to see what looks to be a pistol upgrade as Twist has a Deagle. I'm sure Nitro could drop a couple more for the remainder of his teammates. No one really has to invest in too much of their own when the in-game leader has that much in the bank balance. Let's see how they choose to try and be competitive, because that direct approach on the B bomb site, trying to bully Zeus, hasn't paid off.
No, they haven't really landed the results there that they would like, I think is very fair to say, Chad. We will be looking at round 24 now. 12-11 the score line. Team Liquid on top, but not by much. And then this round, it's going to be a 5 Deagle shootout for the ages, I'm sure. Edward there in the connector with the AUG, the sole member of NaVi holding middle by himself, of course. He's going to have a fight here in underpass any second. Nope. And there was the chance for the 1D. Didn't quite land. I believe it was Twist there that took the shot. Oh, now mid is in complete control of Team Liquid, but a big grenade coming out there is going to land a lot of damage down onto Stewie.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating when you're a T and you're trying to just like jostle for position and a grenade comes in and chunks you down to 53 points of health. Sure, there's still the chance to find some frags. It's not going to be the end of the world for Stewie, who can get 1 digs like everybody else, but you don't like to be tagged up too much in the early stages of rounds like that, as the window boost will come in. The damage player of Stewie 2K will be the man. Just chilling on the ledge for now, hoping to catch rotations off as 3 members are posturing towards connector. Twist, Elige, and Nafa there as Nitro's throwing utility to draw attention towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, the connector force will be the main hit here, the brunt of it, should I say. A little bit of remaining utility has Edward all sorts of messed up. He's going to get taken down by Twist as Deagle. And now Simple here, missing what a shot that would have been to have landed. Unfortunately, he's only able to walk away with Nitro's head. Never mind, take it all back. Twist is going to fall as well, and the op still reigns in on the A-bomb site. Quite the skirmish here we have on our hands. 3v3. The bomb has, in fact, been planted in the meantime. And now Stewie 2K hits one on a jumping Zeus.
This is doable.
Definitely doable, Chad. And in this moment, he has to hold fast. He doesn't know exactly where this second player is going to be coming from, but for what it's worth, he has a pretty good indication. And he now knows that that player's coming through the window room there. A big kill to take. The mind games, Stewie 2K versus Simple. 1v2, the defuse is on, full commit. He's got to go for the stab, can't quite find it.
1 hit!
Finds the knife kill, but it is just a little too late. Simple sending all of the haters all of the love, X and O.
That's a nail biter right there. Stewie did a fantastic job. That is a death hole right there. Flamey coming through that at any point, he's dead meat. You're coming through a very, very tight choke point. The Deagle, 1 bullet to the head, that's all you need. I don't think Stewie realized how low Simple was in that scenario. May have pushed in a little bit earlier towards that smoke. But that was just a pistol upgrade. There wasn't a huge investment right now from the T's. Liquid were able to get a full gun round up, and NaVi's money is actually in a worse position than theirs. So standard mid control will come out, forcing back the Cat and connector players. Window also smoked off. Edward's going to have some trouble. Flash will come in. He will drop back, gets a chance to reposition. 1 kill, almost 2 for Edward. So much damage to Stewie. Left on 1 HP.
Man.
Big miss from Simple. This is uncharacteristic stuff so far.
Very much so. Flamey taking the head charge here for what is the firing force of Natus Vincere. Both teams looking to grab that 13th round. Simple have a pretty good angle there right now. A one and done. But that bomb's going to be making its way all the way back through T-spawn at this point. They know they're going to have to split A. That's really about all they've left themselves up here to do. Now, a little bit of utility should be just enough, Chad. It should be just enough to hold off these choke points and potentially get the bomb down.
They don't know about close ramp or under balcony. They don't know if anybody's in the site, so they're going to have to clear that. But Electronic's position over towards Ticket is more of a retake position, just playing spoiler here.
Yeah, and any information that he gets that this hit is on is going to be crucial. If they're able to eliminate Electronic, it's one thing, but if he's able to transfer that information to his teammates and they can swarm this bomb site and potentially stop the bomb as the clock is dwindling quite fast.
What?
The swing from Stewie proves to be not in his favor, unfortunately. And that makes things a little bit more even, though. Twist now with the frag, Simple with the AWP, and NaV in a really awkward position on the other end of the crosshair. That is Simple. 13 rounds on the board for Natus Vincere.
The most important kill of that entire round for me was Zeus in the window position, jumping through, able to take down Stewie, and then he pivoted back. He didn't hang around. He cleared that position out, and then he went to help Electronic at spawn. I feel like if they weren't able to get that kill, they're going to have to worry about Stewie in that position late round when the bomb goes down. Simple doesn't feel as safe going for that cap pick, being able to get the 2 kills from that position. And right now, NaVi have grabbed the lead. 13 rounds in their favor. Money is in a bit of a interesting position right now for Liquid. NaV does have an AK-47, but the rest of the players are considering what they have to buy. This is where Adren, the coach, is going to have to really give them a nice nugget of information to spot the gap, to find the weakness.
Yeah, and this is the call right here. It does look like they're going to go for it. I mean, they can purchase AKs, they can purchase armor. For any money left over, they're going to have to dedicate that to utility. They want to bounce back in this one. This could prove to be very fatal, though, should this round not go their way. 13-12 the score now. NaVi. We're going to have Edward to show face here in middle, and that Molotov is going to hold back Liquid from trying to take control of it overall. Just a little bit.
Mid control once more. This is the same approach as last round where Edward had 1 and almost 2 frags. But now more smokes are exchanged. A lot more lurking, a lot more deviousness to be played around with here, as this will stall them out. They aren't going to force into it just yet.
Now that smoke gives Edward just an angle so that if they're trying to boost, he has the clear indication. If they're coming from top mid, he can see that. What it's worth, he's going to get spammed into oblivion all the way down to 18 HP there on the stairs. Liquid not finding the frag just yet, but it's certainly looming in the balance as the confrontation just continues here in Connector, showing in true force. Now started as a 5v5 affair, has dwindled now down to a 2 versus 2. Nitro, NaV, Zeus, Flamey. Flamey being the big dog on the block here. It's going to have to rotate through to CT spawn, has that AWP in hand. If NaV shows too much rear, well, that's going to get awkward, Chad.
The bomb's always so late on the scene, but this time Nitro, the late peek from Halls, it works. And now Zeus, the in-game leader, left with a 1-on-2. Molotov will land to flush them out of position. Both going to swing, both going to take the fight. Zeus gets 1, Nitro's left low. Move back towards Tetris now. Zeus he knows the jig is up. Is it A-ramp? Is it Tetris? Looking between the two. Zeus, the in-game leader! He's going to get it done. A massive clutch. 14 rounds on the board for NaVi now.
Huge round and huge play there. For Zeus to come online in this matchup in that moment was very, very crucial for the success of NaVi. Having all of that been in vain would have been very, very saddening. But of course, a 14th round on the board you have to consider now. Liquid with that buy, they're not going to have much utility to work with.
Yeah, they're in a bit of trouble here because their approach so far is very basic. Mid-smokes, try and take the jewels. The jewels right now aren't going in their favor. They're having to trade out within the late round.
Timeout coming in from the side of Liquid. It appears as though they saved them just properly. All 4 of them were going into this half, but they have needed all of them. Sweaty time here for Liquid. I'm not talking about that Liquid is perspiration. I am saying this is not how they were hoping this would go down. Again, the difficult choice being made to go ahead and purchase up and go for it here would be on the cards. We do see the AKs coming out across the boards. 2K 3750, and he will be the last player to buy up on this team. To their name, they have 3 smokes and 5 flashes, Chad. But don't discount that decoy, because we know now decoys have a presence.
They make noise?
Yes, and if you're Liquid, you can run around the map with them all day long.
Well, they're going to go straight for a set A piece here. 2 smokes over from Nitro and Elige, and 3 players going to bust out apps. So much pressure right now on Electronic over towards that ticket booth. He doesn't have a rotation for days.
Ouch. Big kill there. Twist onto Electronic, opening the doorway, finding the entry. That was absolutely necessary for Liquid to get out on this bomb site.
Edward's on a quick flank here. Elige versus Edward and T-Spawn is a big duel, and Edward is going to succeed. Now they have to worry about CT Spawn, Connector, apps,
yes,
and the approach from ramp as NaV has plugged the gap.
But that frag there on A ramp does give a good amount of time for them to go ahead and adjust for it. NaV finding Edward. Twist not out of the round and out of the fight just yet either. Able to take down Zeus, and it does appear as though NaVi are going to try to back off from this one. Simple and Flamey having to pull off. Simple saving the AWP, Flamey with the M4. Good read, good call there from Liquid. And what was a risky purchase, nonetheless. They went for it, and they achieved their goals there, Chad. And it looks like they're putting that other round on the board, trying to edge their way closer to the finish line.
Goes without saying that was a must-win from Liquid, but that's a huge shot to hit. Electronic was on an island playing retake over towards that bomb site. Normally the job is to spot and delay, but his head was absolutely obliterated right there, and from there the dominoes fell. Liquid took up site control. I thought Edward on the rotation, I thought he was going to have enough done. I thought the fact that he had beaten Elige in that head-to-head duel would have given NaVi a chance in that retake, but NaV was ready in a close enough position to make sure that the trade did come in. Relatively delayed, but still. And now NaVi are fighting back with a buy of their own.
Yeah, look at this buy, Chad. Can you diagnose this for me?
It's a mess. We have the P250, we have the MP9, a FAMAS as well for Zeus. Never a weapon anybody wants to be finding in their hands. But they still have the AWP for Simple. Sure, his impact has been quite limited this time round, but he can get anything done. He has mid-control with the AWP right now. We can see him patrolling. Looks like Stewie and Twist are going to sell a fake over towards this B bomb site to draw out their rotation, so they have to help Zeus. So the utility going out, Zeus is going to make the call. Edward is now moving back through window to bolster the B defense, but Electronic and Flamey in their forward positions towards A, they know there's nobody close enough right now to attack this bomb site. So just posturing early, utility exchange, the tennis match of back and forth, just making NaVi feel uncomfortable. Making them not feel that where they're holding right now is going to be safe.
A little bit of ping to your pong is the game they'll be playing. Liquid with a lot of presence over on this B side of the map as it stands. NaV will join them, bomb in those halls. For what utility they did pull out.
Oh, it's a gamble
weird.
stack.
They have actually pulled all of these defenders off. Zeus might have gotten whiff of that as he was exiting the site, but they're going to have this site basically for free. The rotation back into the site has proven to be fatal. Simple and Zeus do fall, and Stewie2K gets that mid-rotator. It has all gone wrong here for NaVi. 2 members alive in Electronic and Flamey. Not a whole lot that they can hope to do, as the buy was already pretty weird, and Electronic's going to go ahead and concede his own life in this round. Flamey by himself. In the site, nowhere to go, only a few places to hide.
Here's the problem. The loss bonus right now for NaVi is not in a position where they're going to have a decent buy for the rest of the game. They found themselves behind that force. That was do or die. They have a choice now.
They're going to take that gun from him, too.
So they're going to get 1,900 now, right? So they get 1,400, and they went for the force buy behind the saved guns. That makes sense. But right now, only with the $1,900 bonus, they almost have to concede the 15th round.
Yeah, I mean, because there's not a whole lot of stock they can put into this round, whereas Liquid, on the other hand, money stacking it to the ceiling.
Sure, but here's another problem. Even if they do take the eco right now, they're only going to get 2,400 as the bonus in the next round. So their gun round to take it to overtime is going to be less than ideal.
Yeah, and for something where grenades have proven to be a crucial aspect of their defense, that's not very ideal. 14-14 is the scoreline in the first map here of Mirage. Liquid NaVi. Twist trying to get a little forward positioning here, and if he can find a pick, I can imagine that that call comes in and they just heavy hit this B side. He's about to be caught in a real awkward kind of way should this smoke fade, and he gets caught with a grenade out. Zeus with a push now, a little bit of aggression. They have seen this. Wow, what a shot from Zeus. Probably the best one from him all game. And that's a big kill.
Hey, he won that 1v2. That was almost instrumental, but what he's actually done here is take out the hero of the last 2 rounds on the trot. Twist opened up the A-bomb site, and then the B site with 2 massive picks. Doesn't matter though. NaV, He will deliver with long-range spam onto Simple. And now the ship steadies for Liquid.
Steady as she goes. Zeus has claimed control of those B halls, and that bomb is going to be down towards that TV room area. Liquid are going to grab it now, as they do have 2 members over there towards the A ramp. And it looks like it's going to have to be A. The clock ticking down, 40 seconds. And the utility will be coming out. Now, the gamble stack on B, this is going to prove to be quite disastrous, Chad. But again, the buy for NaVi just wasn't there to begin with, so living on a prayer, I think, would be in order here. But the journey is far from over for Team Liquid.
The round's not over. NaVi can still play for exits right now. If they can grab an AK or 2 and take it through to the following round, that's going to give themselves a better buy. So they're playing very, I guess, hesitantly through the halls to see if they can find that gun, because it would have been picked up and thrown away. When Twist died, one of the teammates collected it. They've thrown it away. Now they're just trying to see if they can see it over the wall.
Hey, man, can you reach that? No.
But the idea here should be at least to see if they can... Oh, they can see the gun. They can see the AK over the wall.
No, this is ambitious, to say the least.
I like to see it because, as I mentioned, they need guns, but it doesn't feel like the E-key is actually going to work for them right now as they continue to jump and hover. And
I'm pretty sure everyone watching this is oddly satisfied if they are able to grab it. One last attempt.
Oh.
Yeah, well.
At least they tried.
Yeah, it was a cool effort.
A for effort.
A for effort and A for team. If you're Team Liquid, you are currently right where you need to be. Match point, and we're going to see a timeout come out now. Liquid using that last one, knowing the implications of this round. They could put it all the way right here, or this could go the way of NaVi.
This is the cool element of the org right now. If the CTs decide to invest in a few of them, they can take more aggressive duels without needing the utility to actually hold off the aggression of Liquid. They can posture with the scope, you're more confident in taking the fights, and right now the playing field, it gets leveled a little bit. Simple, yet to invest, has the Deagle, but we do see the org for Edward and Flamey. Zeus and Electronic have opted for those M4s. So I'm curious as to see what the god of the game is going to go for, because he needs to step up right now. He's only sitting there on a total of 20 kills, and I say only. He's definitely come alive in these later stages. But it has been Flamey with a huge amount of impact. We've had Zeus with a clutch. Edward and Electronic chipping in with frags every now and again, but they're going to need a big performance right here in the last round if they want to take this one to overtime.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's all that they've given us, and what they have also given us is no kits. So this is going to be an interesting one come late rounds, should it fall down in that manner.
Well, with their setup right now, they're not really aiming to play retake. Simple's embedded in the bomb site. He needs to multi-frag from that position. Electronic baiting from the standard ticket position. They've really given up dominion of mid, as Edward's going to lean over towards this A bomb site as well. This is a massive gamble from NaVi. 2 players in the B bomb site boosted to spot for early information towards the apps, and this is all in from NaVi with this kind of approach.
And Elige there in middle to sort of watch the rotations. Maybe you can catch someone slipping off catwalk. Unbeknownst to him, there's no one there, and the hit is in full motion now on this A-bomb site. Edward, a pivot player. It will be very crucial for him to grab a kill, and he's going to have to move, given that Molotov. They do find the necessary opening frags to defend the bomb site, but Nitro doing what Nitro does. Taking him out, and the bomb will fall. This one has actually come down to Flamey yet again with the AUG. He's gonna have to peek, does find one, goes to the second one, can't do it. Elige closes it out 16-14 in that first map of the best of 3. A knockdown, drag out affair. Some might even call it a slobber knocker, Chad.
What a nail biter right there, back and forth the entirety of the matchup. Liquid able to get the victory in the dying moments. They had to dig deep. Twist, the hero, with some huge entry frags, getting them across the board in the late stages. Moving on to their pick of Dust 2 next. We'll be checking that out after the desk, after the break. We'll see you soon.